Welcome on Watches TV, and we have yet a magnificent selection of watches to share with you that will be part of Ineichen Auction set to take place on December the 3rd. So only a few days away, and something which I never underline but has its importance is that there is no buyer's premium with this auction house. Hammer price is what you will pay in comparison with other houses where you will often have to pay an extra 25%. So the theme of this sale is calendar timepieces, and we were lucky enough to pick a sweet selection here in front of me. And let's start with lot number 33, a really nice Parmigiani Fleurier chronograph. And though I said that the theme was calendar watches, well, here the only calendar information is the date originally placed at 1:30. The 40mm case is in 18 karat white gold, and important to mention that its bezel are as beautifully decorated on the dial side than on the movement side, meaning that there is no room for any engraved serial number. This one can be seen at 9 o'clock on the middle part of the case. So this piece holds the Zenith El Primero movement with its traditional 5 Hz frequency, and an important upgrade of this movement that you almost never see on other Zenith El Primero is its full gold 22 karat rotor. Another interesting detail is that the buckle of this piece is in platinum, probably a small mix, but here you have somehow some kind of little upgrade. And last but not least, this watch is a very similar model to the everyday watch of King Charles III, and he has it in yellow gold, and you could get it in yours in white gold. Estimate of this piece, 10,000 Swiss francs. Okay, the next timepiece with lot number 23 with this Jaeger-LeCoultre Grand Reverso calendar, recent model of 2018, and maybe not known by everyone, but there are a few things to know about the manipulation of this special Reverso case. When you open it and close it, you always have to do it from the side and not from the front directly. You just have to push it like this, and then you can turn it and put it back in its place. Don't do it immediately like that. If you manipulate it like this, you are much less likely to see marks appear on the front part of the piece, but instead more on the side, so a little bit less important. So concerning that specific watch, you have a hand-worn movement, nicely finished with a full calendar display, day, date and month, and also the moon phase with correctors on the side of this 18 karat rose gold case. Okay, this is a very classical piece, but with an estimate of 8 to 10,000 Swiss francs, well, could be a good way of having an icon at a reasonable price. Okay, maybe it needs a little bit of polishing, but that's okay. All right, next lot, number 25, and something a bit more original with this automatic Daniel Roth Perpetual calendar with moon phase. It comes with this signature Daniel Roth case design in rose gold, and an interesting feature can be seen with the rotor with its center part in 22 karat gold combined with an external arc made in platinum 950. It is actually quite rare. In terms of calendar information, you have the date at 6 o'clock with leap year indicator in the center, day and month found just above it, and for the very insider, the base movement, but not the calendar module, is a Girard-Perregaux movement. Another interesting feature on the dial side is that it has an anti-reflecting treatment on both sides of the same crystal, and at certain angle, I mean, it seems like there's actually no crystal there. Estimate for this piece is set at 20,000 Swiss francs. Next lot number 4 with this elegant Breguet automatic perpetual calendar coming in a white gold 36mm case and a finely hand-guilloché dial, something you can read at 6 o'clock. The hour and minute hands are in blued steel with a signature Breguet shape, extremely fine too. And regarding the date, well, you have a serpentine hand. And the interesting feature is that it's a retrograde date. You then have 2 small windows for day and month indication, and the leap year indicator is seen at 1:30 and the moon phase at 6 o'clock. I mean, you can't go much classic than this, and the good news is that the estimate for this piece is set between 6 and 8,000 Swiss francs. So even if it goes a bit more than this, well, it's still a great opportunity to get your hands on a complicated timepiece, which will always remain classical. Okay, the movement may come from another brand of the Swatch group, but still a very nice timepiece. Okay, let's go to lot number 18 with this Lange Söhne Datograph Perpetual, and probably something you would all want to have. Well, I would for sure. I mean, it's a perfect mix of classical shape and modern decor with this anthracite dial with Roman numerals captured in this 42mm 18-karat white gold case. On the technical side, and how beautiful is this? I mean, it is simply an impeccable work. I mean, look at this architecture and finishing. And this movement originates from the first datograph chronometer of the brand made in 1999. There is something I always love with Lange, which is the special feel you have when you activate their pusher. It's just soft and precise. It's just very pleasing. And the chronograph is actually a flyback chrono, meaning that when it's running and by pressing the lower pusher, it actually goes back to 0 and starts again, but you can obviously use it normally. I mean, start, stop, reset. You have a tachymeter scale on the outside, and in terms of calendar information, you have this signature big date at 12 o'clock, day and month in the inner part of the subdials, as well as leap year indicator. And the cherry on the pie, I mean, you can precisely set the seconds as it has a stop balance function. I mean, seriously, a very beautiful piece for someone's Christmas with estimates set between 60 and 70,000 Swiss francs, but will probably go higher. And if you really want it, well, you can get it at a fixed price of 120,000. I mean, I might have to pass on this one, unfortunately. Otherwise, you can try your luck with lot number 43, and it is the De Bethune Perpetual Calendar DB15, a beautiful and interesting example of a watch made 2 years after the foundation of the brand, almost 20 years ago. It has a 43mm 18-karat white gold case and buckle with the alligator strap inside and out, and the Perpetual Calendar has a 3-dimensional moon. And just below this moon, well, there is a very small round opening with a leap year indicator, quite an original feature. As always with the Bethune, its movement is just beautifully decorated. It is rhodium plated, hand-wound, twin barrel movement with 5 days of power reserve. And if you're ready to get this watch now, I mean, the fixed price is fixed at 150,000 Swiss francs. And if you prefer to save a little and to bid, well, the estimate is around 80,000 Swiss francs. And the last watch in our selection is lot number 47, the Eclipse by Christiaan van der Klaauw, the famous Dutch watch brand. So not a Swiss brand yet again. And the watch is quite compact. The 18-karat rose gold case is only 40mm, so less than the previous model. And here I would like to remind you that Christiaan van der Klaauw is well known for astronomical complication, which he was, for instance, has done a few for Van Cleef, for example. I mean, this is why this watch is extremely interesting, because instead of a moon phase or other, let's say, regular complication, it has moon and solar eclipse indication, hence the name. So this feature might be very useful, especially for sailors, but also for those who like to coordinate their lives with the lunar phases. I mean, after all, eclipses signify a significant period of change and transformation, don't they? And you can have it all for a very reasonable price of 20,000 Swiss francs, which is the estimate of this timepiece. So this is it for our selection, but there are many other interesting watches part of that auction. I could have almost selected all of them, but then we would be here for quite some time. I mean, for instance, you have many other Daniel Roth, FP Journe, De Bethune, Parmigiani Fleurier. Well, I really invite you to check their website because, like I mentioned in the previous video, I mean, this could be an interesting way in getting into some complicated timepiece at a reasonable price. So thanks for watching, the super best to you, and see you real soon. And of course, viva watchmaking!